J. Hannah Dizzy Dean, the brash Cardinals fireballer, burst upon the big league scene in 1932 and averaged 24 wins over his first 5 full campaigns. A winner of 4 National League strikeout crowns, Diz was the last NL pitcher to record 30 wins with a record of 30-7 in 1934, when he and his brother Paul led the Gas House Gang to the World Championship. A broken toe suffered in the 1937 All-Star Game led to an arm injury that eventually shortened his playing days. He later embarked on a successful broadcasting career. Dean was elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1953.
Hey, what's going on, Sports Cars fans? Ray from Philly here. It's Friday night, November the 19th, Friday Night Vintage. And the moment that I've been waiting for all week, I've been savoring this video for quite a few days. This is a pretty big card for me. This is for the, you guessed it, 300 Great Baseball Cards of the 20th Century by Mike Payne PSA set registry. This here is my 193rd card for that set. And I gotta be honest with you, I never thought I would own a card from pre-war, from back in the day, but nonetheless, I lucked out. If you remember what I was saying before, that when you get to cards before, say, 1960, 1950, and it's an iconic card, it's really not about the grade anymore. It's more about just the ownership of the card. So I don't really care about the grade anymore. As long as I have the card and, you know, it looks decent, I'm fine with it. And it looks decent for the grade. And that's 1933 Goudey of Jerome Paul Dizzy Dean and a PSA 1. I think it looks pretty good for a PSA 1. And this is from the 33 Goudey set. I mean, there's only about 4 or 5 classic iconic sets out there. You have, of course, T206, the 52 Tops, 1915 Cracker Jack, and I would put 33 Goudey right up there in that top 5. I mean, it's a very expensive set. It's tough. You got 4 Babe Ruths in there. You got 2 Lou Gehrig's. Hack Wilson card is in there, and this one. So thrilled to get it. I got this about a week ago. It just came in, and yeah, I mean, it's a 1, so it's got creases in there, but and it's a card that's practically almost 100 years old. So don't mind if it's a PSA 1. Thrilled to own it. 193rd card. He had a brother named Paul Dean, so there was Dizzy and Daffy Dean. Both played for the Gas House Gang in the 1930s. Both were very, very good pitchers. Not only Dizzy, but even his brother, Paul Dean, was really an excellent pitcher. So, and there's the back of the 33 Goudey. Jerome Dizzy Dean, St. Louis Cardinals. Now, it's really weird. I'm into baseball movies. Yes, I'm a nerd. I'm a baseball nerd. And I have this movie here called The Pride of St. Louis. Yes, on something called VHS. I recommend seeing the movie. I mean, you know, all the old black and white baseball movies. Yeah, they're kind of hokey, but I like it. I like hokey. I don't mind it at all. You have the pride of the Yankees, pride of St. Louis. There was a lot of pride. So this is a very good movie. And there was things in this movie that I didn't even know about. I didn't realize that Dizzy Dean, after his playing career, was a broadcaster. And then there was an organization that wanted to get him out of broadcasting because of the way he spoke. Then they ended up leaving him in because he appealed to the regular person. So I would recommend getting this movie here, The Pride of St. Louis. So once again, here's the 33 Goudey Dizzy Dean. I'm stoked to get this. Closing in on 200 for this 300 set. So I'm going to flip the phone around, give you a closer look at the card, and read the excerpt from the book. You know the deal, so hold on one second. Okay, and once again, we're back. Give you guys a little bit closer look at the 33 Goudey Dizzy Dean. Like I said, it is a 1, but when it comes to these cards, and I think most of you will agree, you get a card from like a T206 or 33 Goudey or, you know, a Goudey Big Head, 41 play ball, 39 play ball, you don't really care. You just want to own the card. And I'm so happy to have this 33 Goudey Dizzy Dean card. So we're going to go to Mr. Payne's book and get into the 30s. As you can see, there's some big cards in here. And like I said before, there's 4 33 Goudey Babe Ruth cards. There's the Diz. There's a Hack Wilson. This is doable. I don't know if I'll ever own one of these Goudey Ruth cards, but never say never. You never know. This is doable, but of course this has gone up like everything else. This used to be quite affordable, and even in a low grade, it's gone up quite a bit. So let's move the book a little bit closer here and read the excerpt here. 33 Goudey Dizzy Dean card 223. X-rays on Dizzy's head showed nothing. While Dean carried the reputation as a country bumpkin, he actually was one of the shrewdest and best pitchers in the National League during the 1930s. While a member of the St. Louis Cardinals' Gas House Gang, Dean was the last National League pitcher to win 30 games in a season, accomplishing that feat just 1 year after this card was released. So there you have it. Man, I just can't believe I'm holding a 33 Goudey Dizzy Dean card. Absolutely stoked to have this card. Big time for me. And like I said, a 1, I don't care. If I get a 1 Babe Ruth or anything like that, I really wouldn't care. It's just about ownership. So now we're going to go to the laptop screen, get a closer look at some of his numbers and accomplishments. So hold on one second. All right, so I'm on Baseball Reference, and it says here he was an MVP, 1934 World Series champion, 4-time All-Star. Now, some of you might not know this. He didn't really have a long career. He only has 150 wins, 83 losses, 1,163 strikeouts. And that's because in the 1937 All-Star game, American League All-Star from Cleveland, Earl Averill hit a line drive off of Dizzy Dean's foot, off of his toe, and broke it. So to change his pitching motion so he wouldn't land that hard on his toe, he ended up hurting his shoulder and completely throwing out his shoulder. And of course, you're going back to the late 30s when the technology wasn't advanced as much as it is today, that his career was pretty much shot and over by before 1940. As you can see here, he started, his first full year was 1932. 1933, he won 20 games. 34, he won 30 games. 35, he won 28. 36, he won 24. 37 was the year he got hurt. And as you can see here, he was trying desperately to hang on in 38, 39, and 40. 7 years later, in 1947, he tried to make a comeback, and of course that didn't work. But he was actually a very successful broadcaster after his career, as you'll be able to see in the movie if you end up watching the movie. Because of his dialect and the way he talked, there was an organization that really felt like he was a bad influence on kids on the speaking of the English language, and eventually they changed their mind. He proposed a case that's saying basically he was just appealing to the regular person, and baseball was really meeting out to the regular person. So he ended up coming back on the air, had a very long career as a broadcaster. As you can see here in broadcasting, he was a well-known radio and television sportcaster, calling baseball for the Cardinals from 41 to 46, the Browns also from 41 to 48, the Yankees in 50 and 51, the Atlanta Braves in 66 and 68, and nationally with Mutual in 1952, ABC in 53, 54, CBS in 55 to 65. He was all over the place.
He was kind of like they're saying here, compared to like Terry Bradshaw from playing to broadcasting. So he was a very successful broadcaster and was inducted into the Hall of Fame. I'm going to say here in 1953. Now, here's something interesting with I noticed with his Hall of Fame stats is that basically he was on the BBWAA ballot for quite a while. He was on for 11 years. His first year of eligibility was 1945 and didn't get on until 1953. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 ballots he was on and finally got 79.2% of the vote in 1953, probably because he had a short career. But as you guys know, there's been great pitchers that had short careers and were legendary pitchers. You know, Sandy Koufax being one, Dizzy Dean being the other. Okay, so there you have it. I just wanted to couple of things. Just make sure you check out this video, The Pride of St. Louis, and one last look at the 33 Goudey Dizzy Dean. I'm so excited to add this to the 300 Great Baseball Cards of the 20th Century by Mike Payne PSA set registry, card number 193, closing in on 200. So there you have it, guys. I appreciate all your likes and comments. Have a good weekend this weekend. And like I always say, have fun with it. See you real soon. Stay tuned.
I wish I could make you understand, mister. As much a better pitcher as I am than Paul, that's how much a better pitcher he is than me. Look, lady, a fella can't turn around in this town without seeing signs saying, Houston welcomes you. Anything Houston can do to make you happy, and there ain't no such thing as a stranger in Houston. You gonna make a sucker out of Houston?
I haven't said.
And you ain't gonna get no chance to neither. I'll be there at 7. Now, there's one thing nobody can say about me, Frankie, is that I'm boastful. And so I got a right to remind you that I'm a sure thing right now to win 30 games, just like I said before the season.